lab assignment today, we must ensure all lab participants are in the proper lab attire. Here we can see Mason, Kaylan, and Hannah wearing long pants, closed-toed shoes, their safety goggles, and the girls have their hair tied back and out of the way. In today's lab, we will be diluting a 20% solution with water. Before starting this super fun experiment, we tore the balance and found that the 10 milliliter flask actually weighed 19.075 grams. Now let's define a stock solution and a dilution. A stock solution is a concentrated solution that will be diluted to a lower concentration in order to be used, while a dilution creates less concentrated solution, usually with water from a stock solution. Tell us what you're doing.
I'm transferring the stock solution into one of these containers to a pipette.
Before we continue our experiment and begin measuring solutions, we must understand what the meniscus is. The meniscus is the convex or concave curve at the top of the liquid that is caused by the molecular attraction of the liquid to the container. Here's another explanation. So we're going to talk about the meniscus. In the pipette or in any measuring device, tube-like device, you can see that there is a curve caused by in this case, the water molecules sticking to the glass. You can see it better in this graduated cylinder, but it's important to note, especially here, what you'll do when measuring it is you look at the bottom of the meniscus and see where it corresponds on the scale, and that's how you decide how much water or whatever solution is in your pipette. Now that we understand how to measure our solutions in the pipette, we can finally begin. Here you can see Hannah following the directions on how to use her pipette. She draws up the stock solution into her pipette, removes the blue ball, puts her thumb on the top of the pipette, and sees what it measures. It measures the initial volume at 3.5 milliliters. Next, she puts the pipette at the top of the flask and releases her thumb, allowing some of the liquid, not all of the liquid, down into the flask. Now you can see that the next volume is 8.7 milliliters, allowing the stock solution in the flask to be 5.2 milliliters. And now we can see Kaylan doing the exact same thing. She draws the water up into the pipette, puts it over the flask, and proceeds to drop the liquid into the flask until it fills up to the 25 milliliter mark with stock solution and water. Here you can see how nicely Kaylan has filled the glass up to its 25 milliliter mark. Now we can see Kaylan measuring the flask, including the stock solution and the water. The final mass of the flask is 44.28 grams. To find the dilution, we use the equation C1V1 equals C2V2. The experiment math is as provided. We repeated this process 3 more times until we completed all the data necessary to complete the lab assignment. Once we finished all of our calculations, we cleaned up our lab bench, cleaned all of our glassware, and replaced all of our glassware where we found it, leaving everything cleaner than we found it. Here is a picture of our lab notebook, including our calculations.